A lot of people died in 2012. We're going to talk about some of those who have passed on. When we come back, it's 10:30, time for news, weather, traffic with Dave Stewart.
89 WALS.
Jake and John are taking your calls now. 312-591-8900.
Hey, Jake.
Yes, John?
This is Jake and John, 89 WOS. We're here for the last half hour
Of 2012.
2012.
So sad. It is so sad.
Why are you sad,
You don't
Jake?
feel the sadness of the last day of 2012?
Was the old man is kicked off onto the ice floe and the baby is born?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. It was a great year. Next year's going to even be better. Just can't wait to get at it.
Now, see, now you put the jinx on.
I did not
jinxed
spit
everything.
3 times, okay? Two. This is what we do. If you say something, you think it's a jinx, you spit 3 times on the ground, it's gone.
You know how many people, I'm looking at this list here. You know how many people on this list probably were looking forward to 2012? Said, well, 2012 is going to be a great year. Well, you know, it wasn't a real good year for Michael Clark, the actor from Chicago.
Yeah, the Green Mile, the big guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, it wasn't. And we talked about Dick Clark. Not a good year for him.
And I guess they're not going to drop him down on the pole. Frozen Dick Clark, which would be nice.
Not a good year for Davy Jones of the Monkees. He passed on.
Davy, a lot of middle-aged women with broken hearts over that one.
Ernest Borgnine. Not a good year for him. He lived past his 90s. What I loved about Ernest Borgnine, he was asked, he was on a book tour, and he was on one of the morning network shows, and he was asked his secret to living past 90.
Yogurt?
No, and he whispered into the ear of one of the people on the show, one of the hosts, forgetting that he had a live mic on, and he was going live over the air. This is Ernest Borgnine from a few years ago.
You're 91 years old. You look fantastic. You look like you're in your late 60s, early 70s. What's the secret?
I don't dare tell you.
No meat. You don't eat meat.
I masturbate a lot.
Okay, I think... Thank you, Ernie. That was great.
I actually heard that.
Ernie, have you ever been on YouTube before that?
Listen. Yesterday.
What are you talking about?
You went all over the place.
Okay, we're going to take a quick time out here.
There's nothing to say.
Apparently he stopped and now he's dead. There's a lesson there.
Uh-huh. You know who else has died who didn't make the list? Who didn't make the list? Kim Choi. Do you remember Kim Choi? Poor Kim Choi from North Korea. You talked about him on your show, and again with me on the weekday show, this show. Kim Choi was the general who didn't show the proper respect.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
In North Korea. That Kim Choi, and they in order to punish him.
There's so many Kim Chois.
For not showing the proper respect, the North Korean leader, basically, who looks kind of like that guy that does that singing, basically.
I'm so lonely inside real.
That guy, John?
Kind of like him, but only meaner and tougher. And
you don't think that's mean and tough? I do.
That's pretty mean and tough, I tell you. But worse than that.
He'd get my socks if he wanted them.
They tied him down, and then they mortared him to death. I don't know what's worse, being mortared to death or having that guy sing to you. With Jake giving up his socks. Jake, never give up your socks to any man.
Have you ever had anybody do your feet? Do you ever get like a pedicure and stuff?
Did you just lose your mind, dude?
No, I'm asking.
Anybody do my feet?
Have you ever got a...
Is that how you talk to me? What kind of respect is that?
Have you ever had a pedicure?
I don't, but I have a great podiatrist, Dr. Burns. And if he has to do something there, but I'm not going to ever
do my
feet with a pedicure.
You've never gone in for a pedicure?
Again, I put it to you this way in front of all the people of the United States. Did you lose your mind?
Plenty of really beautiful feet.
The only reason I ask is there's a treatment, and I've seen this on TV, so I know it's true,
Okay.
where you go in, and they just don't take, like the emery board and, kind of, get the dead skin off.
Uh-huh.
You put your feet like in a tub with water in it.
Okay.
And in there are little fish.
Piranhas?
No, not piranhas. Little fish that will go and bite, and chew off the old skin. You've never seen that. You've never heard of that.
Where you put your feet in a fish tank so the fish eat your feet.
Yeah, something like that.
And
Yes.
do I have like a bottle of good single malt scotch next to me and a cigar to get me to get through that?
Obviously, you've never gone to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills and had your feet done.
Although
Or Oak Street down here.
I've never had, Jake, you know what? Tell me about all the times you've had your feet done, Jake.
I'm just asking if you've
No,
heard that.
I just wanna
Because
know.
when you mentioned Kim Choi, that's what came to mind there. I digress.
Yes, you have.
Back to the bad list of people who have died. Tony Scott, director Tony Scott,
Is he the brother or the...
Ridley Scott. He killed himself. Remember? Jumped off the bridge.
Did he do The Good Wife? He was one of the directors, I think.
One of the creators.
He
Donna
created-
Summer, the singer, pop singer, died. Gore Vidal.
Gore Vidal.
Writer, yeah,
Whitney
longtime
Houston. Did she die?
Yeah, she died. How did you miss that?
No, she died. We talked about it. Here's one for you.
Matt Damon.
Not Matt Damon.
Not
no.
Matt Damon. Let's see. The Reverend Sun Young Moon. Did he die?
If he's on the
believe so.
if he's on the 2012 death list, yes, I would think he died.
You know
yes.
one notable thing about his death?
What is that?
That Danny Davis, the U.S. representative from the West Side, the one who said, let's vote for leave it in the envelope to save the seat,
Yes.
Yeah.
he helped pronounce Sun Young Moon the Messiah in a ceremony in Washington where he carried crowns on little purple pillows. And now people still go to Danny Davis for quotes about other stuff, which I find to be ridiculous.
You
Like,
really can't get the rain without the thunder and the lightning.
exactly.
Do you think Danny Davis ever had his feet done by the little fish?
Jake,
I'm sure
you are like fixated on the feet
there
thing.
is-
It's freaking me out. You're not even running for alderman, and you got
I'm
the
sure
feet issue.
there are people who
I know a
in
couple
our
aldermen
audience
like
who have
you.
had that done. I bet you there's aldermen who've had it done.
I'm sure. Where you go and put your foot into some fish tanks and let the fish... I thought you were going to come up with something cool like leeches, but fish, man.
Well, I'm just telling you the truth, what happens. Also passing on this year, Alex Karras,
Famous
former
Greek-
Detroit Lions football player,
Great Greek
went on to be a
defensive
big star, was in Blazing Saddles.
Mongo only pawn in game of life.
From Gary.
Jack Klugman last week.
Yeah.
Tony Randall, I believe, is dead too.
So's Rock Hudson, I think.
Now you're really going back. Now
Well,
you're,
if you do
now
the
you're
Tony
going
Randall.
now-
First you're doing fish feet, and now...
Well, I only mentioned Tony Randall because Tony Randall was on with Jack
Oh, yeah.
Klugman in The Odd Couple. Rock Hudson had no whatever with that.
Andy William? Oh, Doc Watson died? Oh, that's a tragedy.
10:45, time for traffic on the fives.
News happens, and you're there to witness it. Call the 89 WLS News Tip Hotline at 312-236-0507 and let us know. Keeping Chicago covered. 89 WLS.
10:50, the home stretch of Jake and John. We are pleased to be joined by the man, the 24-karat gold individual, covers the tabs full and complete with Notre Dame football.
Don't stop now, Jake. You're on a roll.
Covers the tabs.
Chet Kopic. Good morning, Chet.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Chet and WLS Chicago.
So Lovie Smith is out, Chet. My idea was, I don't think it was his fault. Coaches win with players. He didn't have any on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, John, I buy what you're saying to a point, but after 9 years, I think you have to look at the ball club and say that the message is going in one ear and out the other. You have to look at the foolishness of trying to make Devin Hester a quality wide receiver, and in turn ruining him as a return man. And I think, at this point, the public, and I don't often equate the public with head coaches, but I can't recall during all the years I've spent in Chicago, even thinking about Dooley and Abe, where the public has turned so vociferously against a coach the way they have against Lovey. So, I mean,
kind of like Parsons back in the pre-Ditka era, when we used to I used to call up your show and call him the preacher and pretend I was John from Oak Lawn or something.
See,
John, those were back in the days when I was making real money.
Chet, I call it Lovey fatigue.
That's well said, Jake. It really is. I think the ball club is tired of him. I think that the fans are tired of him. The question now becomes, the McCaskies are going to have to chew $5 million in dead money next year, which is not particularly joyful up at Hallis Hall. I'm curious, will the Bears pay $6-7 million to get Bill Cowher, to get John Gruden? Do they look at a hot sidekick like Darrell Bevel, for example? The one thing, gentlemen, I would bring to the table is this. If you look at the Bears, they have no history of hiring coaches with head coaching experience. Modern era, think about Dooley, Abe, Pardee, Ditka, Duran, Wani,
Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. Good call, John. How could you leave out a charismatic figure?
That's what I meant.
How could you leave out a charismatic figure like Neil Armstrong?
Preacher, but he was a great defensive coach at Minnesota.
Darn right he was.
You get these assistants who are really on the cutting edge of the game, rather than say, "Come on, Bill Cowher, come on, go smoke a pipe, Grandpa, sit in your rocking chair." I want the young John Gruden the bully John Gruden, the mean John Gruden who went to.
You're speaking my language.
Not the current John Gruden who's, I don't know. He's sort of cut.
Who's doing the lovey-dovey routine on Monday Night Football?
Mean SOB.
So who would Chet Kopic pick if you had the checkbook, and you can price was no object? Who are the top three Kopic picks?
All right, top three Kopic picks right now would be Darrell Bevel, assistant coach, hot.
Green Bay,
very much responsible for the Packers offense. Although something to consider, John, you brought up talent. Take a look at Devin Hester, and then look at the wide receivers for Green Bay. Now, obviously, Hester, despite his inadequacies this year, could make Green Bay as a return man. But with Greg Jennings, James Jones, Jermichael Finley, yada yada yada, Hester couldn't make Green Bay as a wide receiver. So anyway,
he couldn't make Green Bay without a ticket.
That's pretty much it.
Well, he's those Jets have cooled.
I just want someone, and I think I speak for Chicago on this, who can spell the word offense. I mean, watching the Bears against the Lions yesterday, and Lovey came up with one of his more hysterical comments. I mean, this is even funnier than Rex is our quarterback. Lovey said that the Lions were wild up to play us. Hello, the Lions have dropped 7 in a row. The Lions are wild up to get their tee-off times.
He also said he was going to look forward to fixing the offense during the offseason.
With what, a hammer and nails?
Well, you can't fix an offense when you have 2 offensive tackles who can't play football, and your other interior linemen are too old or broken down. So when you have that and you don't have a running back, let's get off the running back thing for a second. I've seen these kid running backs come in who hit the hole hard and plant that outside foot and go, right? Even Adrian Peterson does that. I don't want to see our running back making his little shuffle hop.
That's my complaint about Matt Forte, is that he doesn't hit the hole.
I need a dynamic slashing runner and 2 offensive tackles and 2 great guards and a center who would, like Bobby Jenks was a pitcher when he was drinking. A guy who would break the beer bottle and come after you. That's what I want. And you give me
man,
that.
You had that South Side hitman killer instinct like nobody I have ever seen.
Chet, thank you for taking a few minutes.
John, have a wonderful New Year.
We'll be following you in Notre Dame this week. One week to go. There he goes, Chet Kopic. You look up class in the dictionary, you're going to see this man's face. There you go. 10:55, time for a check of WS traffic.
You're an icon in Chicago sports radio history.
89 WLS. This is Jake Hartford and John Cass. 89 WLS.
John, it's been a pleasure. 2012.
2012 was wonderful, Jake, to be with you.
What 2013 brings.
Just keep your feet out of the fish, okay?
Rush coming up, then Rowan Roper Show at 2 o'clock right here on 89 WLS.
10, 9, which is German for no, meaning no drinking and driving. 8, which is what I do with my kielbasa about 10 minutes ago.
Hurry up, Carl.
7, 6, 5, which is about the IQ of Rokad. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
WLS Chicago.
A Cumulus station.
Flock to be your friend.